Hey guys, Spartan117GW here, and I've been pretty much honored to get a chance to actually review this gear from Emdom USA. Not a lot of people get a chance to work with them or do a lot of reviews for them and stuff like that, but I was handpicked by John Tay. I met him at the GI Tactical opening. If you haven't gone GI Tactical, make sure you guys check it out. But I met him there, and I got to link up with them, and I started looking at their gear, and I noticed they're one of the few companies that's been making gear in gray. Now they've been making gray gear since before it was really huge as it's been lately. SDU in particular. Now foliage green actually blends in pretty well, and that's the color that this belt is. It's foliage green. It is a lighter tone of gray with green midtones and so forth, but it actually works really well with the system. Right now I'm just wearing Arc'teryx Wolf Gray, but you can see how it compares. The first thing we're going to go over, of course, is the belt, the CM belt, or Sinagula Militaires. It's basically Roman for like military belts, the thing that the guys used to hang their swords from, with weapons and all that kind of thing. That's what it was designed to do, and this is basically their interpretation of a second line duty belt. It does have reinforcement all the way around, so you can go ahead and mount all different kinds of things on it. It's basically designed for that. Magazines, dump pouches, all that kind of stuff. It's definitely going to hold the load, and I use it for my pants, obviously. It's also recommended to use the Atom belt to kind of support your pants, and you can actually wear this over as just for your second line and whatnot. But you can wear it and use it in different configurations. I personally love it, and it's kind of interesting. They have this ITW quick release on here, or for the buckle, and the way they design it, literally you can just you pull the buckle, and then you apply more pressure, and pants unbuckles. In case you need to use the bathroom really fast, just get out of your gear real quick. But I thought it was cool because it's really secure, it's really comfortable. I was a little skeptical about the type of buckle, but hey, it works just fine, and I believe it's uses the same material that the ITW fast mags are made of, which is pretty strong. So overall, I do love the belt a lot. But let's go ahead and go into the next piece of gear. Alright, so a lot of the stuff that Emdom uses is mounted with malice clips. Just so you know, I was fortunate to get some malice clips with mine. And as you can see, this is their dump pouch in SDU. Now, there's a lot of dump pouches, and there's all different ways of using them and how they're designed. There's different mesh ones out there. There's little roll-up ones. There's different ideas to approaching the same problem. What I like about this is probably, of all the dump pouches that I've used, it's probably the most useful and practical one. Obviously, this is not designed to be something super small. It's about the average size of your average dump pouch, but it's reinforced and it holds its shape, which is pretty cool. And one thing that I do like, you have this little button here where you can basically secure the dump pouch and release it as such. But it's basically got like a half opening, so it's not completely open, not completely closed. So it allows you to put stuff in it, but it also kind of helps things from falling out and such. And this little piece here is held in with Velcro, as you can see. It's basically just a flap, but it's kind of cool because, like I said, you can put stuff in here and it's going to hold it really well. And generally, unless you're going completely upside down, it ain't going to fall out. But I like that how it holds its shape, because some dump pouches, when they're really loose, you're trying to find it and find where the point of entry is. But because this kind of has a predetermined shape and kind of holds its form, I didn't have problems when I was using this at the range at all. So if you're using a dump pouch, this is definitely the way to go. I like this one a lot, and it's definitely one of the things that probably really helps complete the kit. Now, Emdom USA is working on a plate carrier. I didn't have one of those, the ones that Military Morons was helping co-develop, but I did get a Blue Force Gear plate carrier because I needed to mount some extra pouches, just because, I could have mounted on my second line, but I like mounting stuff on the back of my vest as well, so I'm stacked up, or if during long ops, I just have stuff that's kind of out of the way, but I still have it in case I need it, and I'm usually operating with a buddy. What I have is the utility pouch and the GPS pouch. Now it's kind of, why would I have a GPS pouch in here? Well, even though it is a GPS pouch, it's really functional. I mean, there's a little bit of room here, obviously, for a GPS, but you can put like a phone in here or any other small electronics. And this kind of, I use it as like a smaller general purpose pouch, just to put stuff in, batteries, extra this, that, and whatnot. Airsoft, there's always something you're going to need on the battlefield. on the general purpose utility pouch. What I love about this one is actually got a place for my Kotak patches right here. So it's got some Velcro hook loop on here, so you can mount whatever you want in there. And as you can see, it definitely has plenty of space in there. I usually put stuff like batteries or ammo or tools, things that you're gonna need, and stuff like this. It also has another pocket on the front, so it's definitely useful. You'll always see guys sometimes mounting it on their second line. A lot of times I like mounting it on the vest just to kind of keep the waist light, depending on how I set up my kit. I use different kits, but that's one of the ways I could figure this this vest with these two pouches here. I definitely love them, and the GPS pouch I was a big fan of. That was one of the things that really caught my eye when I was at GI Tactical, because John Tay and his buddy there had and they come in multiple colors, multicam, and a bunch of other colors as well. But they had this in multicam, and it really caught my eye. I was like, wow, what is that? It's kind of cool. You can use it as like a glove bag. There's a little place where you can reach in there and grab something and pull it out, but things aren't just going to fall out. But overall, I do love these pouches here. They really help accent the kit. SDU gray, as you can see, kind of compares to Arc'teryx and Blue Force gear, with a little bit more greener midtones, but I think it definitely goes really well with the kit. Alright, now we're moving on to this. Well, you see some tactical guys running around with these. Basically is a tactical, like fanny pack or whatever. It's basically like a general purpose waist pouch, utility pouch essentially. Guys with EOD will put their tools in here, or you can use it for any number of things. It's actually nice for airsoft. Since I have some stuff on my back, it's nice to have something that's up in the front. Like I said, I'll put spare batteries in here, maybe some electrical tape or a snack of some kind. Definitely a cool way just to carry stuff on the battlefield. As you can see, a little bit thing of electrical tape in here. But you can definitely put whatever tools that you need, and they're right there in front of you. Just another method of carrying the things that you need on the battlefild. I had this at when I was playing GamePod, and I had no problem with it. It was definitely nice. Didn't really move around or anything like that. You just adjust it just right, and it really isn't going to go anywhere. And you definitely have plenty of space for anything you need. And actually, it's a really good place for your dead rag, and it's going to cover your junk so you don't get shot there. But it's definitely a nice piece of gear. I definitely like it. It's really good for just any kind of survival gear or whatever. If you happen to be doing stuff, and it's, as you can see, it comes in SDU gray, which is pretty awesome. Now I know this isn't gray, but as you can see, one of the things that I've mounted on here, and this is a kind of an interesting thing. It's simple, but it works really well. The answer to just an everyday belt, not necessarily a duty belt, but just something that you can wear. This is the Emdom belt. It was basically designed by a guy in Israel, and the guys over at Military Morons brought it over to Emdom USA. Just Adam did pass away in 2010, but this belt was basically named after him. It's a really cool belt. It's very, it's on the thinner side, but it's basically designed to hold up your pants. But it's really comfortable, lightweight. Basically, it's got a very simple system. It's kind of a, you got like this grip material on this end. So once you loop this through the buckle on this end right here, and it's very low profile too, which is one of the reasons why I like it. It velcros over, and there's plenty of hook and loop here, so it's going to really adjust to a lot of people's different sizes, and it stays nice and flat and low profile. That's one of the things I like about it. It's really not designed for load bearing. You can probably put something light on it, but I like it. It's great for holding up my my pants, and it's not as thick and bulky as some riggers belts may be. I mean, riggers belts are great, but if you really just want something simple, this is definitely the way to go. And as you can see, SDU gray right there. So I showed you guys a bunch of different products with SDU gray from Emdom USA. I want to say a big thanks to John Tay and the guys over up in New York at Emdom. They make a lot of really great gear. I mean, I was even telling some of the guys at AEX I picked up some Emdom gear, and they were pretty jealous. So make sure you guys check them out. They make a lot of really great gear, and they've been actually making the gray gear longer than some of the other companies like Arc'teryx. But it's definitely really cool, and of course they make all their gear in different patterns and different colors. So if gray isn't your thing, you're definitely going to find what you want. And there's tons of gear on that site, so make sure you guys check it out. It's an American company, so check them out. All right, thank you guys for watching. Spartan out.
I'm James C. Burns. I play Sergeant Frank Woods in Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2. It's time for you to subscribe to Spartan 117GW, baby.